I was thinking the other day about how we're a society walking around with blinders. Or are we far-sighted or nearsighted or just blind-sighted? Because I'm always so shocked when someone acts inappropriately, when they're rude or thoughtless or mean, inconsiderate, demeaning, degrading, unkind, spiteful, cruel, despicable, obnoxious, horrible, hateful, rotten, low down, and beastly. I mean, are we all a bunch of miserly Scrooges? Penny pitching, stingy, mingy, money grubbing, cheap. And I'm not talking about money only. I'm talking about not being generous with our thoughts, with our feelings, with our emotions, with our time, with our touch. For me, the first sign I look for in a man, or anyone for that matter, is, are they generous? And what the heck does that mean? It's not anything to do with their pocketbook. It's about generosity of spirit and soul, psyche, physical, emotional love. I mean, you can literally tell if a guy is going to be a good lover by how generous he is emotionally and spiritually, and how he treats other people. That's a biggie. Forget all this BS on the internet. Forget profiles. They're a bunch of hogwash. Forget trying to make yourself look like a mensch when you're a cad. And forget making yourself seem like you care when you're selfish and self-centered. Forget looking like you're going to sweep her off your feet on a romantic dinner when you're really a Scrooge. Speaking of which, misers and tight-fisted, stingy people don't refer to just the monetary actions. You can be cheap and miserly with your emotions and withhold what you're really thinking. And for you people pleasers out there, don't think that you're being the nice guy when you don't say how you really feel, worried that someone might get angry or not like you. Nice is when you just nod and say yes, even though you might mean no, because you're afraid of confrontation, or that you have to gain and seek approval under any circumstances, even if that means giving up your dignity. I am so sick of many men and women who are yes people. My least favorite is, oh, whatever you want, it's up to you. When the truth is they really have an opinion, but too chicken shit to say what they mean, because they might alienate you or you might not like them. And they're so used to saying what they don't mean that when they finally do express their true feelings, they say it mean, because they're so angry that you can't read their minds and that they have to express themselves. And especially now when there's not a lot of face-to-face conversation and everything goes on through phones or the internet, it's impossible to see what people really mean. You have to make eye contact. You have to feel their demeanor in order to know if they're really being truthful. You have to be in their presence. One of my favorite idioms is, say what you mean, but don't say it mean. I love those who have kept quiet for so long that they can't start on the honest road without being snappy and short and curt because they're so used to taking that road less traveled. In the dating world, this is an epidemic. The people-pleasing syndrome has become such a sickness among single people that you have a bunch of folks in relationships with someone they have no idea about who they really are. People have given up on authenticity as a virtue. The world says, be nice, be nice, be nice. But niceness, again, is when you aren't real. You just don't want to make waves. What we really want to strive for is kindness, not niceness. Kindness is when you care enough about someone to be forthcoming and truthful with them, whether it's about what you feel, your values, your goals, your dreams, or about how you see them and their character flaws, their behaviors. I love it when no one tells you you have food on your teeth, or a rip on your dress, or your shirt on backwards, or a booger in your nose. That might be nice and proper, but it is not kind or caring, not in my book. And the other night, I actually did that with a friend. He had a crumb on his mouth, and I gently, quietly removed it with a napkin. I knew he'd never see it, and I surmised he wouldn't want to spend the rest of the evening with goop on his mouth. He thanked me, which I appreciated, because some people might take offense. And the same goes for when I see a tag sticking out on a shirt and I put it back inside. All I know is that I would absolutely love if someone told me I had lipstick on my teeth, especially when I'm about to smile in a photo. Now that I would consider a true friend, a kind friend, one who cares about our relationship and puts it in the highest regard. It's the ones who don't care that you have goop on your teeth, that don't say anything just to save their own ass, worrying that they might get ostracized. So how about this for a goal in the coming week? Next time you have the opportunity to tell someone close to you the truth, and you find yourself silent or saying, oh, whatever you want, it's up to you, or I don't care that we're at an Italian restaurant even though I hate pasta, then just take a breath, hustle up the gumption to be authentic, and tell your truth, even if you're petrified that the other person is never going to speak to you again. Because in the long run, you're withholding, you're lying, you're pretending, you're being the nice guy is going to come back and haunt you. It may come out in passive-aggressive behavior, and more often than not, you'll end up exploding in an inappropriate, inopportune time, and usually about something non sequitur that has nothing to do with the case in point, but all to do with how much you've kept inside, waiting to explode like a volcanic eruption or the steaming, screaming tea kettle. I would consider deleting the words, whatever you want, from your vocabulary, especially in the relationship world. And of course, the same scenarios extend to the working world with relatives or anyone you come in contact with. It's okay to be discerning and choose who you feel safe with to reveal your true self. But isn't it better to be who you are than to find out after years you're married to someone you really don't like to be with, that you don't have anything in common with? And yes, opposites may attract, but it's similarities that bond. Similarities of values, ethics, character, and